Hello and welcome to Quilt Addicts Anonymous. I'm Stephanie Soebbing. Today we are looking at some new arrivals. We have some fabulous new fabrics from Laurel Burch and then also some goodies from Windham. And I think you're really going to love the Laurel. So let's take a peek at that first. So Laurel Burch is an iconic designer. She did more than fabric. She passed away many years ago, but her family is still taking her original artwork and recreating new items with it that you can find throughout very different applications. And of course, today we're going to look at fabric. And she just created so much in her lifetime that there just is no shortage of new items that can come out. And so today's is called Fiesta Horses. It's the latest one that I've seen in quite some time coming out from Laurel Burch. And so we're going to take a peek at it today. We have some fat quarter bundles and half yard bundles that we cut for you, as well as some strip rolls and some charm packs. But we're going to take a look at the actual fabric and the really cool panels as well here. So this is a rather large collection and there's two really distinct colorways. So we've split it up into a jewel tone and a golden. So we're gonna look at jewel tone first. And Laurel Burch almost always has at least one panel and border print. So that's definitely the case in this design. Let's take a look at this one. Nice and big. So panels like this one are just God's gift to quilters because they're really nice. They're usually going to be about 24 inches wide, which is the size of your block. So you can add some borders, or actually this is available as a border print, so you can just grab some yardage of that and stick it down the sides. And this background here is also available as a print within the line. So you really can just have some fun with it. And then you take the rest of your half yard bundle or your fat quarter bundle and you just go to town with it and you make something to go around that panel. So let's take a look at some of the motifs in here. We have the beautiful horses and there's gold metallic throughout. And then her characteristic designs. It's like Picasso-esque where, obviously, we can see both sides of the faces at once, which you can't do on a real horse because they're animals of prey. So you only see one eye at a time. But the colors are just so striking and beautiful. And if you're a Laurel Burch collector, then you probably have something already that will coordinate with this. But the whole line is just fantastic for going with it. Then we're going to finish up at the bottom with that beautiful horse print again with that beautiful gold metallic layered throughout. We're going to put that off to the side for now while I look at some of these others. So this is that sort of mishmash of lines. We're going to see this several times. You see it in the background here on a little bit larger scale, but this is a very nice turquoise blue. And it's going to be a great blender to help support all your main prints. This one here is a showstopper. It's really medium scale with the florals, but they're just so pretty and the repeat is just so like intermixed and beautiful. It's just gorgeous. This is that same print as the one we just looked at, but the background is a much deeper blue, more cobalt, kind of a cross between cobalt and navy. It's very deep, very striking. This one here is also really pretty. It is this really purple swirl and with a little bit of green and pink in there as well. It's like a paisley, but more modern than that. I really love this stripe. This is a great candidate for borders as well as bias binding. It would just look so pretty going along on a 45-degree angle to go around the edges of your quilt. And this, by the way, would work for either of the colorways because we have all the colors in this one. This is that Picasso-esque horse. We can see it up here in the border print here. But this one is really fun. It's got a gold metallic outlining all of the horse heads. And it really is just a really fun modern take on it. Very, very Laurel Burch. This reminds me of her cat drawings, if you've seen those a lot. This reminds me so much of her and her characteristic style. And that gold just makes it pop. Next up, we have a really pretty border print. I told you her collections always have one. This is definitely it. So you can use it as a border. You can get a bunch of yardage and fussy cut that out. Or you can go up and down. Or this would make great bags if you're doing a bunch of clutches and you just want to feature this section on the front of your bag. And then you could use this section for the back. I think this would make a great diva or maybe a leading lady. It would just be so pretty. And the sizing of it is just perfect. All right, we're back to that elongated swirl we saw before, but this one is much more deeper purples, a little bit indigo blue and green. I'm going to show you these next two at the same time because the print is the same, the coloring is different. So with rotary screen print, what you do is they have these giant rollers that push the color through, and it's very expensive to make the screen. So that's why you often will see prints in multiple colorways, because the expensive part is making the screen to push the ink through, and then you can get some more bang for your buck by doing it in a few different colors. So for this one, it's very straightforward. We've got a black back with a purple line squiggle. This one has a purple back, and it's kind of alternating between two different colors of purple and then also some teal in there too. It has a lot of really great movement. It's really gorgeous. This one is also so gorgeous and so Laurel Burch. I think she's really known for that really saturated neon rainbow, and you definitely see it in this print. And Laurel Burch, let me tell you, looks fabulous against a black background. So this is a really good chance to pull out all those black fabrics that you've been saving, and it will just make all of this shine. And we've all the little horses going in different ways. We have different styles, and it just is all centered on this neon sort of diamond that's going back and forth. It just is stunning. And it's got the gold metallic. I mean, there's nothing not to love about this print. Now this is the last print that we're including in our jewel bundle. Now that's something that we made up here at Quilt Addicts Anonymous. It's not a thing anywhere else. We just split it into two colorways so that way the bundle is a little bit smaller, more affordable for you guys. But if you do love the entire collection, you can get both of them, no big deal. But this is the last one for that jewel bundle. It's again that black background. This time the horses are running and they're in that, still in that neon rainbow with the gold metallic, and it is just absolutely stunning. This is one you'd want to use big, maybe in a border or something, or it also make a great quilt back. It's just fabulous. All right, so just before we move on to the gold one, we are going to take a look one more time at the jewel because it's just so pretty. Look at how well these coordinate together. I mean, really all you need is your panel, your fat quarter, your half yard bundle, and some black background, and you've got a quilt. You don't even have to think about it. You are good to go. You have everything you need. So it's just fabulous, just gorgeous. This one will be really striking. The panel is only available in the fat quarter or the half yard bundles. And we do have some yardage available, but the only way to get the panel is to pick up one of the bundles. So go check that out, and let's go take a look at the golden version. So we're going to go through the golden version a little faster because the prints are all the same. The colors are just completely different. And again, this is all part of the same line. So if you love it, you can absolutely get a golden bundle and a jewel bundle, and you can have the whole thing and it'll be fantastic. You can use it all part of the same quilt and it'll be pretty. But if you just like one colorway better than the other, then go ahead and grab that. Just by experience, I will tell you Laurel Burch usually does not hang around very long. It usually goes pretty quickly. We will do these first two together because it's that same squiggle line print that we've seen before. It's very sharp angles. This one has, again, that mottled color, but it's really only like 3, maybe 4 colors. They're all about the same tone. So these make great basics. And a basic is meant to hold up your supporting players. So it coordinates with the colors that we're going to see in this panel. They look gorgeous together. Helps make them pop. Like this here is a very similar color to the color in the horse. And this coordinates very well with the rust. So it's going to help make this shine, but it's not going to take away from it because the print is not so busy. Next up, we have this fabulous stripe again. It just looks so gorgeous. And as you'll see as we unfold more, the fabric just goes with absolutely every color that's in this part of the colorway. Now we have that gorgeous medium scale but busy floral again. This one is also absolutely fantastic. I think this would also make a great choice for your backing because it's so busy. No one's going to be able to tell when you mess up a little bit on that quilting, because let's face it, we all do just a little bit. Here's that really pretty horse print again. This one again in all of those golden colors with some purple and still the gold metallic outlining the horse faces. Here's that swirl again. I think this would also make a really cool binding because it's really dense. There's a lot going on in it, and it has all the colors that you're going to see over here. So that would be a really fun binding. Also a good busy back. That would totally work for a busy back. Here's that border print again. Absolutely so fun. So many possibilities with this. Bags, actual borders, borders cut this way. I mean, the possibilities are pretty endless. You could fussy cut this stuff. It's just so fun with what you can do. And all the fabrics coordinate really well with everything else. So whatever you put this around, it's gonna look great. One note to think of though, when you order prints like this, like say we wanna cut this entire horse out. and we want this to be our border, and say we're going to use like a 6-inch border from here to here. Well, you need to know how many yards of border you need. So let's say that we have a quilt that we want to finish 5 feet square. So we're going to add essentially a foot with borders going around that. So let's just do quick math. 5 feet times 4 is going to be 10, 20 feet that we need. 20 feet is 6.5 yards. So that means you would need to order 6.5 yards just to fussy cut this section. Now let's say we want to instead, or actually it'll be doubled over. So you could get away with 3.25 because this will be the same on the other side. This is just a fat quarter. So 3.25 yards if you wanted to go all the way around a 5-foot square quilt. You have all this extra. But let's say we want to use this section instead. This one repeats here and here. So if we want to use that, then you can get away with getting a quarter or half of that, because you're going to be able to get 2 from each side of the fabric. So you kind of have to think about those things when you're planning it out, and order accordingly. But if you just want to cut straight up like this, no problem. And you could just cut like you normally would. Maybe fussy cut it one width at a time instead of having it folded over double. That way you can keep everything nice and square with the lines that are on here so it doesn't look crooked. But these prints are just fabulous to use, and you can really have some fun with them. We've got our prancing horses again, this time with the black background and all those sunset golden colors. It's just fantastic. And she still mixes in a good amount of, you know, pink, purple. I mean, those are in the sunset too, but when I see this, I just think golden, beautiful Southwest. Like, it's just fantastic. Here is our diamond print again, and I just want to encourage you guys to think outside of the box. I know a lot of times we want to follow a pattern and get it just so, but there's more to quilting than just following the instructions. Like, you could have a lot of fun with this. You could fussy cut out these diamonds and create a quilt that is put back together on point, and you could create a bunch of sashing or something to go in between that kind of mimics the look of this diamond, and really just pull your inspiration from the fabric. The possibilities are only limited by what you can come up with your imagination. It's just so fun. All right, this is the last one we're going to take a peek at. That is that line print again with the mottled colors that are all about the same color family. This time we have some taupes and some darker browns. This one would also make a really great background for the entire collection because it contrasts very well with everything, as well as a good basic and supporting player. So you could pick a brown that's similar to this color as your background, or even a nice golden. That would make everything really pop. That would be fun. And just have a lot of fun with that, and just you know, have some fun. Give yourself permission to be creative, to use a bunch of colors, and really enjoy it. Let's do one final big look of the entire golden colorway. It is gorgeous. It is fantastic. If you have someone in the Southwest, or you just like horses, like, this is the way to go. It's so pretty, just so pretty, and that gold metallic, it's just makes it pop. I'm going to grab the other one out just so you can see them both together if you do want to get the entire collection. I just love this. It's so gorgeous. They both really stand out very well on their own or as an entire combined collection. It's just fabulous. You can never go wrong with Laurel Burch, but these are just absolutely fantastic. Anybody who loves horses, anybody who loves color, this is going to be their jam. All right, guys, we've got one that you want to run, don't walk to. This is Home by Windham Fabrics, and it is all black and white. Whenever we get a whole black and white collection, it's gone instantaneously because y'all have got a black and white quilt on your bucket list. Let's take a peek. This first one just looks like doodles and line art. It's really fun. Lots of feathery and floral type creations in here. And of course, little homes, because, you know, it's called Home. Again, we have more line drawings, this one of houses with their surrounding yards. This is that exact same print as one we just looked at, but with a black background. So remember I talked about rotary screen printing? It's a much more cost effective to just run it in a different color. This is an example of that. Now, we cannot have a collection called Home without all the things that support home. Community support, obviously the words home, sweet home, love. So this is a really fun, affirming print. We're going to see that print again in both a black and a gray colorway. This one is so fun. It looks like a doodle gone wild, and the reaction is just striking. It's so gorgeous, so fun. We're going to see the skin in a couple different colorways. Here it is with that black background and the white lines. It's absolutely gorgeous. We have this next floral print. Again, it just looks like line drawings in 3 different colorways. We have white with a light gray line. We have black background with a white line and a light gray background with a white line. So it really looks strikingly different depending on which iteration they're using, but they're all gorgeous. Now we have this sweet little leaf print that again is in those same 3 colorways. The light gray background with white print, the white background with black print, and then the gray background with white print. It is all so fun. It always going to look great. One of the collections that you guys have always enjoyed doing time and again, or patterns of mine, is Frequency. And that one uses all different grayscales. You totally could make it happen with this one. You're going to want to buy 2 fat quarter bundles in order to make that happen though, and then you'll have enough to do the kit. The pattern is in my book, Fat Quarter Workshop. All right, so that was Home from Windham Fabric. Again, a great black and white collection. These usually do not stick around very long. Whenever we have black and white, they go because you all got a black and white quilt on your bucket list, let's be honest. So run, don't walk. Get this one as fast as you can. We have one more collection to show you guys today. It is called Purrfect Day, and it features, of course, cats. Now, the last time I talked about cats, and I was like, everyone loved cats. Somebody definitely commented on the video. It was like, not everybody loves cats. I'm like, okay, I understand. Not everybody loves cats, but a lot of people love cats, and a lot of people who love cats like to use cats on their quilts. So we're going to take a peek at this one. All right, guys, this is another one of those God's gift to quilters. It's called the panel. They're 24 inches wide, so that way you can just slap a border on the top, maybe the sides, put some blocks around it, you're good to go. And it's so cute. It's cats napping on some books and shelves, climbing as high as they can go, as cats do. This one's trying to get a ball of yarn, and they're just having lots of fun. And of course, we gotta have some cats on quilts. We got cats on a chair with a quilt. We've got a cat laying on a quilt, cat under the chair with the quilt on top with the ball of yarn. Like, this is a cat situation. It is what it is. They love the quilts. We have a team member who has made 1 quilt, and then she got 1 quilt at our Christmas party, and her cat claimed them both as soon as they went into the house. And you know, they know what good stuff is. So you need a quilt with cats on it that your cat can have. This is a must-have if you're a cat owner. All right, we're gonna let our kitty hang out right there while we take a look at the rest of this collection. This one is scenes from our panel, but in smaller scale, much smaller scale. So this will work great inside quilt blocks. We've got It's a Perfect Day, Stay Positive, P-A-W. It's a Perfect Day, P-U-R-R-F-E-C-T. It's just perfectly cute. We've been talking a lot about rotary screen printing today and about how it is just much more cost effective at the fabric manufacturing standpoint to use the same print a couple of times and just change out the ink colors in it. So again, this is the same print as we just looked at, just with the dark background. It's still adorably cute, so lots of fun. And this time you can even notice more so than others that there's little splatter dots on there. They're not paw prints, but they almost kind of look like it. I love it when designers start with the central theme. Like this panel is our central theme, right? It's got the cats and the books and the yarn. And we're starting to see those motifs get pulled out into other fabrics. So first we had our little kitty cats. Now we have all of our books, and we've got that in 2 different colorways. And what it ends up being is a fabric collection that really just makes sense. It's very cohesive when you use it all together in one quilt, and everything coordinates beautifully, both in the colors and in the imagery that you're seeing throughout. Now we're going to look at all of these as one because it's all the same print. We're going to see all the different cat words as well as motivational phrases like catitude and positivity. But again, we're seeing it in a bunch of different colorways. We've got the white background with all the different colors you're going to see in the collection, the black background with a more selected group of colors, so that way it pops from there. Same deal with the sort of rust red background. We're really only going to see some of the hot colors and white with that. This one, orange, perfect complement to teal. I use it all the time. And then we have little lighter teals and gray. And then this one is really kind of, I wouldn't use it as a background. There's kind of a lot going on in it, but it is going to look like a low volume background from a distance. So something like this and like this, you would maybe want to use in the center of a quilt block, surrounding it with prints like this so that way they stand out. We're going to look at all these together as well because we have that same white on white, or it's not really a white on white, but it is a white print of a cat on each one of these with the exception of the white background, then it's black. But it has all those colors. Like if we look at the colors in the books, We can easily see the black, we can see the orange, the yellow, the green, and of course the white. And this is just a really good job of a designer who knows her stuff, who knows how to make everything work together fabulously, both in the colors and the scale. Like, this is a really small scale design. It's going to help make everything else pop. Very masterfully done collection. All right, guys, we are almost to the end. We've got some yarn balls here. And of course, we have all the colors that you see in the collection, as well as a black and white version to sort of recede to that background and read as low volume. All right, so you know, I told you this designer is really good at making sure that everything ties together. Way back, where was it? In this print, we had a tiny little bit of splatter in the background, and same with this one. Well, here is a splatter as a basic. So that way it ties in, the colors are right. It's gonna help support all your other fabrics. We also have a splatter in the background here. Hands down, this designer is absolutely fantastic. I might be pronouncing this wrong. It's Terri Degenkolb, I think, from Windham Fabrics. It's Perfect Day, hands down. Really good design, really good at integrating not just the color, but also the design, creating fabrics that are going to make great blenders to support the ones that you really want to show off, and having those different scales. I mean, here's the deal, guys. Not every fabric designer is also a quilter or understands the application that we need to use them in. So not everybody knows that not every single print can be a showstopper, because you need to have a place for the eye to rest in order for those showstopper fabrics to stand out. And this is a perfect example, perfect example of how this can be accomplished. It just is absolutely fantastic in her use of repeated colors, differing scales, making sure we have our blender basics, as well as those ones that we really want to draw our attention to in our focus prints, and the panel's fabulous. So this is a great example of a great collection. It's going to look fabulous together. You almost cannot go wrong with it, and I think you are going to love it, especially if you also love cats. All right, guys, there are just so many goodies this week. They're so fun. From a black and white collection that'll help you fulfill those dreams of doing that black and white quilt, to a fabulously designed cat fabric, to some Laurel Burch, which you can never go wrong with Laurel Burch. We've got it all. So go check it out. Head on over to shop.quiltaddictsanonymous.com, and we'll be back with a tutorial in the next one. Thanks so much, and until next time, happy quilting.